Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. As always, we want to thank our patrons for your support. We couldn't do it without you guys.
Thank you very much.
And so, over to the news here. We have seen this before to some degree. And this is basically a news channel, so to speak. You might want to call it political propaganda again. But we know propaganda is something that's used in all countries. There is really one system hiding in the shadows that's giving us all this division and chaos. So the tweet is saying Russia just issued a warning to Ukraine, the U.S., France, and the UK. If NATO sends troops to the Ukraine to defeat Russia, nukes will hit American decision-making centers and launch sites. France will be disarmed in an instant. And I apologize to any Irish. The British Isles will go underwater. Dmitry Kiselyov. So that threat to swamp the British Isles, I want to say this is the third or fourth time I've heard that. Again, referring to tsunami bombs. It's interesting because NATO is supposedly giving out a plan that is going to involve the use of some French nuclear weapons and a shield across Europe. You know, the craziness is still marching forward with the satanic control system. It's par for the course. And you actually have here NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg demanding Russia stop exhibiting captured NATO military equipment. Hello. You know, they're just showing us our money because these are, again, our tax dollars, which represent our blood, sweat, and tears being used to do things that most of us don't really want, which is causing death and destruction. We would love to see if they're going to tax us, then use it in a constructive way instead of destructive. The only thing constructive about it is maintaining their position of power on the planet.
You gotta recognize it to fix it.
And people are waking up. I mean, there's been nothing but nonstop posts by the WHO, Tedros, the CDC, the UN, just going on and on. It's like they're trying so hard to pull people into the fold again. But when I look at the comments, I'm seeing like 95 to 99% negative, go bleep yourselves, we'll never trust you again type comments. And I'm sure the rest are just kind of bots.
I believe that.
Yeah, the horses have left the barn, the stalls. It's too late, guys. It's too late. You're not getting the herd back in there. No. I mean, you might herd us into different areas as well as you can, but no, it's too late. You've totally lost the trust of the planet, and that's a good thing. I mean, the problem is we should never have trusted you in the first place.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yes. Defense heads of Japan, Austria, U.S., and Philippines to meet in Hawaii. And the carrier Roosevelt makes a port call in Thailand. In fact, it is busy out there. When I was looking at the fleet news, you have a lot ongoing. Actually, it's just chaos and chaotic with all the stuff that's going on, the movement. As you can see, it's just busy. And again, this is all basically going to make that floating humanitarian bridge, platform, whatever you want to call it, off the coast of Gaza to get supplies to the people that are literally being starved to death. The thing about that meeting in Hawaii that's interesting, too, it's coming at a time when there's a definite uptick in quakes. And in particular, we got 111 at the moment. That's an interesting number. 111. 111 earthquakes are in Hawaii right now, with 385 on the earth. It is getting more and more active. I could see an uptick. There's been definitely an uptick in Alaska, also U.S. West Coast. Briefly, there was like nothing showing over here in the Pacific Northwest, over into Idaho and Montana. And then it's picked right back up again. You still have quakes ongoing in New Jersey. This hasn't stopped. Here's 6. 6 again, 6 more, between 2.5 and 5.9 kilometers. That's really curious. I mean, yeah, I wonder where we're at. I think we're at about 150 quakes there in this swarm, or better. And you do see down in Mexico a 5.1 at this point in time. You know, it's been a lot of activity up by Yellowstone, still is. It feels like things are kind of fixing to go boom, is how I would put it. Yeah, it feels like things are coming to a crescendo. China launches its 3rd aircraft carrier. If I remember right, I believe the U.S. has 11. But everything is changing so fast. The Chinese Navy is vastly larger than the U.S. Navy. Of course, quality makes a big difference, but here again, the U.S. doesn't have the manufacturing capability. So if there ever was a war that was going to last years, the U.S. and NATO are in trouble because, again, they just do not have the manufacturing capability that they used to. Everything is, of course, according to plan. This is 316 meters long. This is a big ship. That's a big one. Meanwhile, there's been like all sorts of crazy events going on. Shootings. Here you see 1 deputy U.S. Marshal and 2 local police officers confirmed dead. I had seen where they said there was as many as 7 shot. And also reports of 2 suspects in this shooting. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way. And there was 1 report of 1 shooter dead. It just seems to be confused. It feels like there's a little bit of maybe covering things up going on. You know, again, U.S. Marshals were involved in this one. Yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on. Don't forget that there's absolutely a lot of involvement with the drug cartels and organized crime, with also governments working together. And there's so many people, you can't count them, in the millions, tens of millions, in the U.S. that are here illegally, and we don't even know, who is who, and so many of them have been released multiple times, and they've done horrible things, lifetime criminals in many cases. This is a foreigner named Joseph Urbanski who lives in Killarney. Made terrorist threats against the Irish people, stating Ireland's going to be dead. What does he know? What is he trying to get across here? He follows it up by saying he'll drop a bomb in Killarney Station. And over here, you see a Jamaican immigrant in Ireland has encouraged immigrants to carry a weapon and strap up, saying the Irish don't know how to protect their country. It says he goes by the name of Dre Cannon, been previously appeared on this video with the Minister for Housing, Dara O'Brien. Now, this video, I'm not sure if it's him or it isn't him because of the angles. This is him supposedly speaking. What do you guys think? Do you think it's the same person? He's just grown out his beard and it's at a different angle?
I don't know. I mean, the energy is definitely, to me, it matches up anyway. And sometimes when you're not sure, that's another good way to check, is to match up their energy. But definitely a lot going on right now. And I'm looking at this thinking, the background motive is that they want to have reasons if people are going to go on social media. I mean, this is just one layer, and I've been picking up other layers of stuff, but one layer of the why behind everything. But having the migrants on social media, so eventually we're all going to have to, here, get your eyeball scanned before you can go online type of thing. So that's just one way they're going to start to control people more and use their AI technology that they're rolling out slow but sure.
Absolutely. And in Kenner, Louisiana, which is down by New Orleans, there was 3 police officers shot in a standoff here. The suspect was wanted for shooting 3 other people. And this one, they say the suspect has been neutralized. Again, there's just the mass shootings going on. It's chaotic. And here is a murder suspect accused of that horrible thing again. This guy's name was Colin Check, 29, charged with murder. He was seen forcefully taking another man to the ground. 45 minutes later, another call was made reporting a distressing scene at a bus stop where one man was observed consuming, let's just say, the other. That is very, very scary. Again, they are trying to make a zombie apocalypse, and they're always sending messages. Israel said to drop its demand for 40 hostages down to 33. Yeah, talk about messages.
Messages, messages, messages.
It's so obvious, all this. It's so scripted. Did you know the D-Day invasion? It never clicked in my head that it was June 6th and 6. And then what time did they land on the beach? 6. We kid you not. Yeah, they were supposed to do it on the 5th, but the weather wasn't cooperating, so they did it on the 6th. Yeah, I think it was another one of their symbols. I mean, this was massive, and it was a slaughtering field. A slaughtering field. And when you understand the manipulations behind the scenes, all these guys think they are fighting for freedom and democracy, but it's just the real controllers playing chess yet again. And this, I'll put the link for those of you that want to go in. By the way, it's only a 6-minute read.
Good thing they tell us that.
Yeah, updated June 6, 2019, 6-minute read. You can't make this up. If birth rates continue to plummet, human civilization will end. So says Elon Musk, the emperor of Mars. I kid you not. As you see, the population declines that are expected. They were talking about populations of over 10 million people in 2100, 12 million people. This is years ago. Well, it's not going to be like that. No, you could see, China is at 1.4 now. In 2100, they're going to have half that, according to this. And my bet is that it's half of that and half of that yet again, and maybe half of that yet again, with the control system that's in place. India, as you see, just slightly ahead of China. They're supposed to keep growing, but I'm already seeing some reports that say that it may be already starting to turn around, and so they will still have a little bit over 1 billion, almost 1.1 that they say. They have the U.S. flatlining, and that's because of immigration. But as we know, there was that DEAGL forecast, got it right here, says 99 million in just a matter of not even another 7 months or so. What could possibly happen? Well, they keep talking about end war. You think that's part of the plans or something that looks like that. As you see, I saw that they were saying that, what's his name again? I was doing research trying to find out if it's true. The guy that does The Simpsons, there's some that say he was part of the CIA. And I wouldn't doubt it, although I didn't find it on his LinkedIn or anything like that. In his resumes and schooling. Look at this. All the things The Simpsons has predicted, it's not predicting. And I love what Juan over here says. This is a revelation of the method or brainwashing in general. They only prepare you for their agenda. There are no prophecies. They're just fulfilling what they plan on doing. Yes. Well stated there. Well stated there. Absolutely. And meanwhile, you see a ballet of birds. Nature is amazing. Can you imagine if all the humans on the planet could get together like these birds? Literally sense what each of the others is thinking? Well, that is what happens when we go up into the yugas. We can sense what the others are thinking. We can understand that there's a greater unity. And all this craziness is just simply the machinations of a very, very dark system, just maintaining its power over those that it keeps asleep. So let us all do our best to awaken them.
You know, I look at this and I think it's really beautiful when nature does it. When nature does it, there's a rightness to it. Unfortunately, right now, so many humans are in an artificial dance where they're following artificial signals for the controllers, and the controllers are keeping them in this 3D dance. But we do need to break out of that and find our own freedom and come together without their assistance.
Absolutely. As always, guys, much love, source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.